Hi, and welcome to Let's Talk About Real Estate podcast, the podcast for real estate agents absolutely everywhere. I'm Lisa B, and during this podcast, we're going to be talking about everything real estate. What's working, what's not working, AI, automation, technology, EXP Realty, and absolutely everything to do with real estate. I'll have guest speakers as well, where we'll answer your questions from the Facebook group, Let's Talk About Real Estate. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, make sure you do that now, and we'd be happy to help answering any question. And again, welcome to the show. Welcome to Let's Talk About Real Estate podcast. Today I'm joined by Sasa Peci, and Sasa is from All Properties Group in Browns Plains in Queensland. Sasa arrived in Australia as a refugee in 1998 with nothing but a strong work ethic and a determination to build a life and succeed. Fast forward to today, he's one of Logan's top performing real estate agents. He's now been in real estate over 7 years, in his second year in real estate, and I think that was the last interview that we did. He bought in $940,000 in GCI. REA shows now Sasa has sold 127 properties in the last 12 months, and you've probably got some off market as well, with an average of just 13 days on the market. But what stands out most to me with Sasa is his people first mindset, and his success comes from discipline, which we've spoken about in the previous interview, and doing the basics consistently. And now he doesn't have to do those basics as consistent because he's so busy, and we'll talk about that too. And he does those, well, he did all those even when no one was watching. He was very self-driven. So thank you so much for joining me, Sasa, today.
Thank you for having me.
I have so many questions for you, and I've written them all down because there's so many things that agents, particularly new to the business, struggle with. And, you know, we were talking off camera about how much you're still learning and things like that. And, you know, what you have done now, you know that it's not just lucky. You know that you've really built something, and you're building the momentum. And you know, there's so much that you've got to share that you can help others that are just starting out, that are in a rut, that, you know, really don't know what to do. So I've got lots and lots of questions for you. So I can't wait to hear the answers. So when people hear your numbers, and so you're in an area where it's a low socioeconomic area, isn't it? Basically, yes.
Yeah, it's gentrifying a little bit now. So there is a few, I guess, interstate buyers coming in with a little bit of money, but still the demand is still so much lower than in other suburbs.
Yeah, right. Because I remember when we first met, remember a real estate agent said to me, oh, you can't make it in Yarrabilba. You know, you're never going to make any money in Yarrabilba. And then I met you, and it was like you brought in nearly $1 million. And it was like, oh, okay, well, you can make money in Yarrabilba. So when people hear your numbers, they often assume that you work in an easy or a high demand area. What do they misunderstand about your market and the level of work required to succeed there?
Yeah, the demand is a lot lower, particularly compared to Northern Gold Coast region or other Logan suburb that's got all the infrastructure. Sierra Builder does not have all of that yet. It's an up and coming suburb, and it's still another 20 years away before it's fully established. It could mean that the next 5-6 years we might have a shopping center. So it doesn't even have a major shopping center. So the demand is always lower. So it's actually a lot harder than I just had a property that I sold in Coomera. I had 36 buyers at the first open home, and I was like, wow, is this what normal is?
Like outside of Yarrabilba.
We're lucky when we get 5 or 6 buyers through the doors. They just have to learn how to listen to buyers' needs more and be able to extract offers and try and close the deal on the day.
Because you're not in an area where it's a waterfront, so people are like, I want to live on the waterfront. You know, it's people are coming to your area because probably maybe sometimes that's all they can afford,
Correct, yeah.
and you have to drag them into area. Oh no, I don't want to live in that area. Just come and have a look. Just come and have a look. Like I lived in an area and I worked in an area like that. So you know, you have to put in a lot more work to get people to want to live there too, don't you?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
absolutely. You have to sell the development and what's going to happen in the future before you even talk about the home that they're looking at. So I've never had a buyer saying I want the lifestyle of Yarrabilba and I want to live there because of all the fancy restaurants and whatnot. So it's generally the affordability that pushes them that way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the investors, if you know the finance game and wealth creation through investing, that helped me a lot. Actually close deals with investors.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Okay, so what do you think truly separates you from the competitors? What do you do that the other agents don't, that you make 127 sales a year?
Yeah. One thing that I realize is the outcome. And I'm not saying that other agents don't have that, but I genuinely care about an outcome for a seller.
Mm,
Whether that might be the price, whether that's the conditions, whether they need a longer settlement. So that for me has been always number one, to make sure that you listen to the seller's needs, what they actually want, and you don't talk about, I'm the number one, I'm the best, this is what I've done. This is, people see results. You don't have to talk about your results.
mm.
Uh, I think that stands out quite a lot, because if you genuinely care, people can see through it. They can, if you're just putting on the act, it doesn't work. You could learn scripts of dialogue all you want, but if you're not natural at actually wanting to help people, it doesn't work.
Exactly. And, I think you're very much, you connect with people, like you make sure you're present with that person. You're not like, you're in the room, you're with them, you're not thinking about the next thing. You're there, you're listening, and you are, the problem solver, like whatever problem they've got. And that's what
Mhm.
vendors want, isn't it? You want to just know, okay, if I go with this guy, I'm not going to have to worry. I'm not going to have to stress. He's just going to take care of everything for me.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And also availability. So I'm always available. They were making fun of me in the office when we had the awards night. I got an award. Who's the most likely to answer a phone call at midnight? And I got the award. So that helps as well, because if there's no missed opportunities for sellers, they can, they see. And if you're always available and communication is there,
Yeah.
that helps a lot as well. A lot of people sometimes think they can do real estate part-time or 9 to 5. It's a lifestyle. Unless you're not committed to do the lifestyle, it's just, you can make a living at it, but you're going to be, you're just the average agent.
You have to eat, breathe, sleep. And your wife works with you too, which obviously can help
Yep.
as well. She understands. It's not like, "Oh, you're always at work or you're always talking to someone." It's like
No, the
you're in
family
it
support's
together.
very important. Yes.
Yes, you're very much together.
Yeah.
So selling 127 properties is huge. When you first started in real estate, did you expect to receive that level of income? Did it surprise you? Does it still surprise you? Or you
No, it did surprise me. I wasn't expecting it. I joined real estate because I wanted to do something that I really thought I was going to enjoy, and that's how it doesn't feel like a job. It's not. It just feels like I should have done it a long time ago. But
yeah.
um, I mean, I've got a competitive mindset, so that helps in this industry. But yeah, I'm still surprised at the numbers.
Are you competitive in everything or just real estate?
Everything.
Oh, are you? Okay.
I've just got
Yeah.
that trait, and
Yeah, I
it's
was
just,
only ever competitive in real estate and playing pool. Anything else I didn't care about. It's like the
yeah,
two things. So you're driven in everything. It's like if
yeah,
we're going to have a game of cards, you'd want to win.
yeah, yeah. Like I played soccer for over 20 years, and I retired probably early age, because I knew I couldn't give 110% because my body just couldn't handle it. So I
Oh,
just gave up. So if I can't
yeah.
do it 110%, I just won't do it at all. So
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
sort of
That's good. Well, that's good. It's good to be driven in that way. So
yeah.
on the days when motivation's low and you still have to show up, how do you handle it? You've just lost a sale, you've lost a vendor, you've, a really crappy day. How do you still show up?
Well, I tell a lot of up and coming agents that I work in our office that discipline is everything. Discipline is probably the most important things. There's days that I wake up and I don't feel like it. I'm like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. But I think you can work on that. You
Mm,
can also work on your energy, and you can get yourself in the mood.
mm.
It's a mindset. Everything. I think everything is a mindset that you do,
Yeah.
and if you're
Discipline's,
conscious of it,
yeah. Sorry. D
yeah,
discipline's a mindset, isn't it? It has to
yeah,
be, I have to get up and I have to do those things. I've got my to-do list or I've got my, your things you do. And because you've built such a big momentum, you've got appointments tomorrow, you've got appointments the next day, you've got appointments, for the next 2 weeks probably. So,
yeah.
you've got that momentum of, it's not like, oh, I'm just going to stay in bed all day, because you can't, because you've got your appointments.
No, and you're gonna have also a trade that once a seller commits to you, you have to commit to the seller 100%. So
Mm,
I've got that almost like the need to, if someone's giving the privilege of selling their home, you
yeah.
have to be available. That's for me in the back of my head all the time.
Yeah. So a seller that says to you, okay, you've definitely got the listing 100%. I'm going to list with you. And for some reason, their wife goes and lists with somebody else or something. How do you handle that? How do you think about that in your head?
Uh, it doesn't affect me, to be honest.
Mm,
I generally ask for feedback.
mm,
If there was something, obviously I still want to learn. I send them an SMS if they don't answer, asking for genuine feedback because I want to learn, I want to get better. But I've understood being in the market for in real estate for quite a while now that you can't relate to everyone.
mm.
It's not always either the process that's going to sell it or how you relate to people. It's some people relate to other people, and that's understandable. So you just have to move on very quickly. And yeah, and I'm lucky enough to I don't know, have that mindset. It's never affected me. I
Yeah.
don't know. Even a friend, I've had a friend who's just listed with another agent
Mm.
that said, "Oh, I'm going to get you around when I finish getting it ready," blah blah blah, and it just pops up online. So I've actually called him and had a chat to him and congratulated him and given him tips of what he should try and avoid in this market, even though he's
That
going to sell someone else. Like that's just me.
That's the best way of handling it because even the best miss out on listings. People take it personally, but sometimes you can't help it, can you? For whatever reason, it's not
Yeah,
your fault. It's just something's happened and you can't take it personally.
correct.
You just
Yeah.
have to move on. So, when you first started in real estate, what did you have to unlearn quickly or start thinking about differently? Might have been rejection or, whatever. What would it be?
Well, I didn't realize how important marketing was. I
Mm,
knew nothing about marketing.
mm,
I thought you speak to people. It's a numbers game. The more connections you make, the more you get in the doors. And yeah, I only realized the marketing aspect of it when I actually moved from LJ Hooker to All Properties Group and the independent brand of actually personal branding
yeah.
that actually put me onto another level because then people knew me as me, not the brand behind it. That sort of yeah, because the first 2 years I think no, when I in my third year when I did 100 sales, I spent $5,000 on marketing,
Mm,
and no one understood how and why, and I just didn't believe it, and we didn't have the opportunity through that other agency to actually market in a personal branding way. So but now that I can see that there's a better way to do it, it's
yeah.
yeah.
Because they were very much about promoting their brand, weren't they, rather than a brand to
Office
brand.
in
Whereas
general, yes.
Chris Gilmore's very, very good at personal branding, isn't he? So,
Yeah,
and the thing is that he supports personal branding, which I think owners of real estate offices now really need to do that. Back in the day, 20 years ago, we tried to sort of, business owners would be like, no, no, don't do that. But you can't fight it anymore because people list with people. So you have to
correct.
support that personal branding, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so what habits do you protect no matter how busy things get? What habits do you do religiously?
So prospecting, I still do prospecting. Obviously,
Mm,
they're not so much cold calls anymore. They're warm leads, they're follow up, all the leads that we spend a bit of money on marketing and all the leads that come in.
mm,
That's something that if I have a spare minute, I'm on the phone ringing someone.
mm.
It's just what I do. I don't know, I don't understand it.
Yeah,
When I've got, when I've got, yesterday, for example, I had 40 minutes in between appointments and I was in the office and I had lunch and I called 25 leads or warm leads that we've interacted in the past sort of 6 months and I've booked 5 appraisals today.
fantastic. So you're
So
just always on. That's great. It's results, isn't it? Getting results for the day. And you've got billboards up, you've got bus signs, you've got all that sort of stuff as well, don't you? So your personal
Yeah, I've got one billboard and 10 bus stops. We do
Wow.
letterbox drops quarterly and every fortnight. And I've got a lead generation AI that I've just trialed now online on social media. And so I've covered probably every aspect of it to make sure that everyone knows we're here. We're not
Yeah,
going
well,
anywhere.
everybody knows you and Yarra Bilba, I'm sure. So what do you think newer agents are not doing that's holding them back from being successful?
I see it in our office as well. The new agents that come in, they focus too much on online presence, on social media, on doing the videos. Do I do this video? Do I do that video? Editing it and trying to post as every day instead of the money productive side of it. where you're actually speaking to clients, you're actually meeting clients, you're networking, you're building a relationship with mortgage brokers, financial advisors, accountants, all that sort of stuff that generates opportunities. That's something that I think the new generation, they think they're just going to be talking online and someone's going to call them. It doesn't always eventuate. It has to be in conjunction with other stuff. I still don't do videos.
Yeah.
But and in this market, everyone says you need to be on social media, otherwise you're a dinosaur. You're gonna miss out on business opportunities. No, you don't. If you get results and you get a bit of traction, and I think they pick a big area, and they're everywhere, but they're nowhere.
Yeah. So
The best.
when you're prospecting, what areas did you focus on? Yeah.
So I had a core area of 300 clients,
Mm-hmm.
and I
300
knew every
homes.
300 homes, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I knew every owner in that pocket. So
yeah.
I knew and when they'd call back, I would know, oh yeah, you're the corner block
Mm,
on Florida Street, and that helps a lot, because when you get a little bit of traction in that pocket,
yes.
that whole pocket will think you're the only agent. You're selling everything in Yarrabilba, and
Yeah.
from then on, you can actually leverage, and it spreads the momentum.
And they
Where
think that you're doing that everywhere, not just 300 homes, don't they? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I think people take on too many suburbs and try and just without any plan, they try and
Yeah.
get out there and try and speak to as many people who are scattered. So
Spread themselves too thin. Okay, so
mm,
if you're a new agent starting out and you were going to pick 300 homes, how would you make sure that those people knew you over a 6 month period? With 6 months, do you think they would know you?
yes,
Yep. Okay. So what would you do over those 6 months?
um, you would prospect every day, all day long,
Yeah.
until you get to the first listing. Once you have that first listing, you leverage. You leverage by knocking in on the doors, inviting people to come to the open home to compare their home to the one that you've got listed.
Yeah.
Let them know once it sells what it sold for. Uh, I would, yeah, you can generate momentum, I believe, pretty quickly if you've got a process behind it.
Yeah, I think so too. So
Mm.
door knock, phone prospect, letterbox drops, and then you get your open house, like you said, invite to the open house. Keeping them involved as to how the open houses are going. There's a couple of agents around here that do that. They'll go, had an open house, 74 people through, 6 offers, and whatever, and sort of letting the street know, all that sort of thing. So yeah, just continually letting people know that you're there, and it's top of mind awareness. Like everybody in your area would know you now. Like you've done that in 300 homes, and now you've got the 10 bus shelters, you've got your billboard, you've got everything. You must be walking up the street, and people are going, "There's that real estate agent." Do they?
Yeah, you do. I do get that. I'm glad I don't live in the area, to be honest, because it'd get a bit too much.
Oh, yeah. If you go, well, you haven't got a shopping center, but if you did have a shopping center and you went down there, you'd never get out of it because people would be talking to you.
No, correct. They've got the calls, so yeah, it's exactly what happens.
Yeah, that's funny. So, what's been the most effective thing you have done to generate appraisals and win listings? Is there one thing that stands out? Because a lot of people, I know, like I used to do these things. It was just a handwritten business card, and it was like, please call me, and it was the real estate business card, and then on the back it looked like a handwritten thing. Please call me when you get a chance,
Mm.
Lisa. And I used to drop those 10,000 homes. I used to get so many calls from those and just start conversations and things like that. And I'd do it, and then I'd get so many leads, and then I'd forget about it, and then I'd start doing it again. Like,
Yeah.
it just really works. So what's something that you've done that's really, really worked?
What's really worked for me is obviously we had those storms and cyclones and whatnot in the past. A lot of interstate owners, like the investors, they'll see on the news the flooding. So what I used to do is a few days after the floods, I'd drive into the areas, and the clients that I've had on my hot list, they were thinking about selling as investors. I would take photos of their homes. I would text them saying, "Hey, I've driven past your house. I'm in the street every day. Just want to let you know there's nothing wrong with your home. It didn't
Oh my
flood."
God, I love that.
And the amount of business that got me in a short period of time is mind blowing.
Oh, I love that. What a great idea. Because yeah, you've got no idea what's happened. Oh my God, they must have just gone, that's
They'll
incredible.
stress, and because sometimes the storm will go past, or whatever. Like when the cyclone happened, the
Yeah.
property manager's so busy dealing with some of the maintenances, and they don't answer, and the owners could be sitting at home in Melbourne somewhere and stressing about their
Wow.
home.
That's so cool. I love that. Okay, so when you were prospecting when you first started, how long did it take for you to start to get results? Like how long was it before you sort of got your first listing?
About 3 months.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So maybe a little bit less than that. What I did, I didn't have a big database either. So there was 130 people, and it was a fairly new area.
Mm.
So I used to go door knock, and I didn't realize that it's not normal to walk, do door knocks, and come back with 6 desktop appraisals to do on a day.
Mm.
And I always to do say, look, I know how much you paid for the build. I'm sure you'd want to know how much equity you got in your home. If you're curious what it'd be worth if you're selling in today's market, I'm happy to send you an updated report, and I'd get the email address, phone number, and that's how I started building my database. So I was not door knocking all day long for about 8 weeks, and I built a database to like 350 people.
That's so cool. Hard
And
work, which a lot of
no
agents.
one had the data. Back then, there was no ID for me. No one had the data. So I was the only one that had that data that someone moved in 12 months ago. And the amount of people that bought and then didn't like the area because there was not much there, especially back then, it helped me get a few listings out of it. Sure.
So good. Okay, so how do you organize your follow-up that things don't fall through the cracks?
That's still a problem for me. I'm still trying to learn, trying to find the best way. It helps with Maria, my wife, that she's in the background, so she does the follow up sometimes. She keeps an eye on the sellers or potential sellers that have been in touch with us, because I get quite a big, you can imagine, big volume. We've got currently 28 listings, and we've got maybe 4 available, the rest is on the contract. So there's a lot going on. So we never want to lose that momentum. So we're always looking at forward. How much stock are we getting next week? So Maria's really good at that. So there's still cracks. There's no doubt.
With the volume that you deal with, there's going to be, but and possibly looking at AI and all that sort of thing too, to see if that can help. Because I think we've sort of going into an era where we have to kind of be high tech behind the scenes, but high touch in person, don't we? We can't ever lose that personal touch, which a lot of the agents are trying to do everything, like social media and do everything online. And it's not personal. People want to deal with people, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to grow my team to a level. There's 4 of us now. I want to grow my team to a level that we do cover every aspect of it, but at the same time, I don't want to have a team where you've got 10 staff members behind you and you got to manage the staff instead of selling homes. So we're coming to a stage where I just have to find that balance, the right balance.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so when you're managing a high number of vendors, how do you keep them calm and confident through the process, especially when you've got so many? How many vendors do you handle at any one time?
Around 30.
Yeah.
Generally text. So I do an open home. I'll text them straight after the open home. Then there's a phone call on Saturday afternoon, and I close off for Sunday at 10 o'clock. So I'll still do Sunday half day. By Monday, there's buyers that are actively looking and want to secure a property. On Monday, when agents follow them up, they've already bought off us. That helps us. So I think communication, generally just text, and I don't do those big vendor reports that people do, because I'm in constant communication with vendors. I'll speak to them twice, 3 times a week, and I'll give them update what happened last week, previous week, how many open homes there was in the area. So I'm very data driven. So I'll look at all the data so I can give them facts straight away. That helps a lot, instead of just talking about their home. I'll tell them, look, this one's gone under contract for this much, because they need to know how their house compares to it. So I don't have many withdrawn properties. I think I had 2 withdrawn last year. That tells you that the communication is there.
You're keeping in contact with them, because different vendors are going to have different expectations as well, aren't they? There's some that is going to be, twice a day or once a day, and others are going to be, look, don't call me. I know you're doing it. Just ring me once a week. Like, this is overkill. But others are like, I want you to communicate with me every time you breathe. So you'll get to know who to talk to a lot and who not to, won't you, as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So looking back, what was the hardest part of your first year in real estate that prepared you for future success? Which I know what you're going to say.
The hardest part? I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. So I would have thought that the discipline that you did for the first year or first couple of years, constantly prospecting, you did nothing but prospect. So now that's prepared you for your future success now, because all that work you put in is now coming back to you. It's all just coming back.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. That was hard. Like when you're on the phone all day, and I used to set targets of how many connects and how many desktop appraisals and how many appraisals you wanted. So I wouldn't stop calling until I've done those numbers. So that sort of drove me a little bit because it can be very repetitive.
And also knowing your ratios. I know you very much, like you said, knowing your ratios. So I have to make however many calls in order to get an appraisal. I need to do so many appraisals in order to get a listing. I need to get so many listings in order to get a sale. You know all those stats, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So what are they? Do you know off the top of your head, or you got it written down?
Well,
What was it? What was it? What was it when you first started? Like, was it 100 calls to one appraisal? Or
no, it was a lot.
sorry, listing, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it was roughly around 100 to one listing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I was doing about, I think I was doing 10 desktop appraisals, so the updates on market for clients that are probably interested, investor particularly. I was doing 10, sometimes 10 a day.
Yeah.
And then I said to myself, okay, well, I can do 10 a day. So then I'll be like, how many phone calls do I need to make to get 10 a day? And I don't stop calling until I have 10 a day. It's not like how many connects. A lot of people count how many connects are you going to do. The numbers sometimes don't even matter if you're saying the wrong thing or you're calling the wrong people.
Yeah.
I focus particularly on investors because they're not emotional with their property. They're not emotionally attached, and they're the ones that want to know the numbers quickly. And you can do them online quickly without having to book in a time. Go sit with them for an hour. You have a 10-minute phone call. So efficiency in terms of time and how many people you can go through to actually send those desktop appraisals helped get you to the listing quicker.
Yeah, right. So would you prefer to deal with investors rather than or you just
It doesn't at the moment. Look, I don't care. It doesn't really affect me. But I was focusing. 50% of owners are investors in Yarraville still to date. So
right.
I found that a lot easier, a lot more efficient, a lot quicker to get to a listing.
Awesome.
That helped me a lot.
Has Yarraville gone up a lot since you've been there in price?
Oh, absolutely. I was selling for around 320, 330. It would take 6 months to sell a home. At one stage, I had 37 listings and I had one buyer for it.
Wow. And now
So
your
it was
average
very
price is
strong.
about $1 million, is it?
Yeah, I've just done 3 at 1.1.
Yeah, wow. Wow. So what a great investment it's been.
It's
How far away is it to Brisbane?
about an hour,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit longer in traffic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gold Coast you can get to, I think the Coomera listing that I had at the Genesis estate was 40 minutes from Yarraville to get to Coomera. So 40 minutes plus it's about an hour to the Gold Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool. And finally, thank you so much for all these questions. Finally, okay, so it's somebody's first day in real estate. What would you tell them to do, or what advice would you give them?
Make sure you have family support before you even start. It doesn't work without it.
Yeah.
Be committed to doing 12, 13, 14 hours a day until you get the momentum. That could take 6 months, 12 months.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just have the traits, be approachable, be disciplined. Otherwise, if you're looking at joining real estate just to make money or quick money or thinking it's easy, don't do it.
No, exactly. So you were very focused on building your database, weren't you? Very much,
Yes.
It's talk to people, get them in your database, follow them up. People get to know you, and now you have become what they call the attraction agent. You sort of, people come to you. You were trying to reach out to everybody, and then all of a sudden everybody's coming back to you, which is the way the table turns, isn't it? And
database is most important, and keeping the database clean is what a lot of agents don't work on.
Yes.
So we've got a process in the background that every year we go through all the owners. So if you're following up by and they say, "Oh, sorry, I've already bought," we need to know what they've bought, and we update the database immediately.
Yeah, perfect. Well, Sasa, you are incredible. I've always said that. Thank you so much for your time. You're absolutely amazing. Like I said, when I met you first, to see your growth and what you've done is just inspirational for so many people. And I think you're incredible. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So we'll book in another one in a couple of years. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks so much, Sasa.
No worries. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you. I will. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk About Real Estate podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you have a question about real estate, then please join the group on Facebook, also called Let's Talk About Real Estate. For those of you who are interested in EXP, please join us at 10 a.m. Brisbane time every Wednesday morning for EXP Explained. Thank you again for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, and see you next week.